Welcome to the 207th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz and Chehalis Outfitters manager Kelli Erb. New guest alert.
Woo!
It's a sponsor takeover.
We're coming in.
We are being well compensated for that.
We're all just dripping in Carhartt gear right now.
Romeo's.
Guns everywhere.
Before we started, we both got our 2024 News Dump exclusive sidearms from Kelli. They're branded.
Absolutely.
There's only two
Two.
available. Cody doesn't get one.
Yours is a rose gold color, which
Mine
I thought was interesting.
Rose gold, yeah, for my softer side.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We got some sparkly ones, too.
Oh, good.
It's glitter.
High visibility in case you
Yep.
lose it out in the woods.
There's like a
You can find it
neon
again.
one. Purple.
We're going to have questions specifically about the Jerky gun at some point. We don't really know what that is.
Oh, I got you.
Can't
We'll
wait
get
to
there.
learn.
We'll get there. But first, Schwartz, do you have any preambles?
No, I don't. I don't really have any preambles today.
I don't have much either. I'm not going to lie. I kind of half-assed the notes.
I can tell by looking at it that
Thank
you did.
you. I'm glad you noticed.
We did.
It'd be nice if you acknowledged when the notes were nice.
It won't be.
Show some
I
love.
do sometimes say that these are nice notes, man. These
Never
are really
said that.
nice notes. Good job. We have a new economic development for people to laugh emoji at after hydrogen. Insulation company to build 60,000 square foot production facility in Chehalis was announced today.
That's not going out in the IPAC or whatever.
People don't know where it's going. That's the fun thing about this one. They've got a $10 million grant. It's for clean fiber. They do cellulose insulation, which, according to the branding here, blows in easy, no clogging, great coverage, and less dust.
Who's
there's going to be 40 jobs out of this.
Who's
so-
that guy
40?
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's that guy that wrote the letter about the hydrogen factory that I said was fake?
Oh yeah, I remember.
And you claimed he was real, and his letter was like, back in my day, I put a fiberglass insulation plant in California, and everybody was better off for it.
I remember
people were paid a nickel a day, and everybody got fiberglass cuts.
It was Desmond, the name. I don't remember. Lou Desmond, that was the writer. And he is a real person. I have spoken to him before.
How high of a horse is he riding upon right now hearing this news?
I don't know, but that's the big news, except for no one locally knows where it's going to be at, when it's going to be built. They all pretty much
Convincing
told
development.
Mitchell, we'll give you a call in a couple of days when you know a little bit more. But 60,000 square feet, that's like a football field, if I'm not mistaken.
That's as big as Chehalis Outfitters.
That's as big as
Wow.
Chehalis. There we go. Our first product placement of the day.
If I find out there's Australians behind this,
They won't be manufacturing or
furious.
selling guns in there, though, probably. Unlike
And I employ
Chehalis
more.
Outfitters.
yeah.
You have more than 40 employees?
Yeah,
How many?
I do. 53, 54.
Wow.
Jeez. Do you know all their names?
Yes, I do.
Do you like them all?
Of course, I love my
come
employees.
on. We were
They're
just over the
amazing.
Blarneys.
They're amazing.
All right, we've gone through the preambles. First news item: hundreds attend Boo Coda casket races.
That looks so fun.
You should do, Shayla. You know who should have a float or a
We should have a casket.
Do you guys sell caskets?
Not yet, but you never know.
You'll get there.
Soon enough.
If you go through eCare Mortuary, they have instructions on how to build your own casket, and I bet you could find the correct supplies. You have to be a little creative with some clam guns and things, but you could probably find the right stuff over at Chehalis Outfitters. You're the first Carhartt casket that you can run that up the pole. That's free.
I'm sure that already
Could.
exists.
The Carhartt casket.
Carhartt
I don't
casket.
think so.
We did have doghouse plans. If anybody wants some, I have some
Oh, not bad.
for Carhartt doghouses.
That's
All
awesome.
right. So the Thurston County Sheriff's Office team took first place in the casket races. Sheriff Derek Sanders rode the casket as the team's corpse. Mm-hmm. How did the Cron Squad fare?
We did not participate this year. We had 4 people there, which would have been enough for a team if we could have rallied up a corpse somewhere. But my kids couldn't show up this year, so we didn't have that. And you know my concerns about my hip after collapsing not too long ago downstairs, so I didn't really want to do that. So we did not have a team this year. We did not defend. And I'll just be honest with you, no one was beating Derek Sanders and company at the sheriff's office. They were flying.
No regard for the rules of the road, you're saying?
Well, they were disqualified in one heat. You were not allowed to go across the middle. And that was against the Thurston County Commissioners. Wayne Fournier was there.
Oh, interesting.
He grabbed a member of the sheriff's office team's arm in an attempt to pull them back during the race in a moment caught by Cody.
Some real palace intrigue there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was great. The casket races were wonderful.
All right.
Another former Chronicle employee was there, which Kelli is a former Chronicle employee. How many years did you work here?
13.
13 years?
13.
Best years of your life?
Of course. They were great.
probably come back. We had some snafus this week on design. So.
I kind of saw that. I don't know what happened.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but
It's just joking. Nothing but love to the fine designers at the Chronicle World headquarters. But Kelli was great to work with. I was just telling her, since she's left, my workload, I would say doubled, but it is actually pretty close to that. She used to handle all the page design. She would be in there in the mornings with me. So we miss her. It's nice to have her back in the building. But Amanda Curry was also there with Mills and Mills.
Mills and Mills, mortuary.
Mills and Mills and Stickland Raced. They were the only ones with real caskets.
I believe it.
And I did ask if there had been a body in those caskets.
Body in there first.
And
you're like, not yet.
no, that was not the answer.
Do you think that casket's going?
There had been a body in
It wasn't
there
a floor model?
No, but anyways, I hope I didn't.
Do you think they took it back and were like, put it back on the floor and like 10% off, raced?
Raced.
They could have. Or you just do a markup on that. It's a famous casket now.
I guess.
They've won, haven't they?
I know George Sharp runs that thing, and almost everyone gets a trophy if you participate. Because they've got
Everybody gets participant
Dead Last,
trophies
Best
these
Costume, Scariest. We did the first ever Chronicle Spirit of Bucota Rob Gordon Memorial Award this year.
Oh.
Went to the Bucota Improvement Club. But no, it was a great time. I think that's the
very
coolest
cool.
thing. We have another brief that's going to be in tomorrow's paper on Bucota being ranked the 98th best Halloween town in these United States of America.
98.
Too low.
They're the highest Washington town, though.
Yeah.
Underrepresented.
What's number one?
I don't remember. It was one of those like a Wallet Hub study.
Oh,
Like just called a study.
So there's going to be a John Braun column on it any minute now.
Hopefully. Reject or vote in favor of all four initiatives.
Denied.
Next item, nearly 1,500 Winlock area residents opt in to broadband expansion project. This is an update from Toledo Tel. The county broke ground last October, and it's on track to be done in 2026 with this project, which includes 134 miles of line construction, funded through a $23.5 million grant from the State Broadband Office. I think that's from the Department of Commerce. And an additional $2.35 million matching funds from Toledo Tel.
It's called skin in the game, sir.
Truly, Toledo Tel just the smallest of copays on this project.
Oh, jeez.
Toledo senior engineer Aaron Nelson said the average cost for installation is about $9,200 per household, which is paid by grant funds. $23.5 million in taxpayer dollars. Where's the press release from the county decrying such a waste of funds in this socialist experiment?
I think everybody's taking those funds these days.
Awfully quiet about that.
It's a public-private partnership, Aaron. This is how capitalism works. At its finest.
A public partner. Yeah. Toledo Tel capitalism chipped in 10%.
You would 10%. Be first in line if somebody was offering you broadband connection instead of the janky satellite thing you have going on out at your place.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want them on the property. They'd probably drive through the yard.
That's true. You do hate that. And first responders.
That's not true at all. Anyway, how do you feel about this great broadband expansion project?
It was just a small little update from the commissioners meeting, and I thought it was interesting that some people reject it and said, no, we don't want it, and then they would see that the neighbors got it, and they'd be like, actually, double back, and we'll take that now.
Do you think it was the same people that got the PUD, like, smart meters? We're like, oh, no.
You know, it's possible that they were trying to do research on the smart meters and realized their internet wasn't great enough, so they asked them to circle back.
I feel like if you're doing research on smart meters, like you have to do that at the library.
I don't know. I did research on smart meters after a letter to the editor, and there's a lot of info that backs their claims online.
Do you think that's what caused your flood legs?
No, I was just going to say there's lots of things on the internet that can back any claim online.
Yeah.
It's the important thing to know.
Wait a minute. Maybe Obama is the devil.
I just want to see the birth certificate, that's all.
Yeah, madness. Next item, we have a vision for Coal Creek. Planner tells the county commissioners wetland project would have a variety of benefits. This is Bob Russell's deal. It's a proposed ecotourism hub on about 80 acres of wetlands and swamplands in Chehalis. The project would cost somewhere between $600,000 and $1.3 million. Bob Russell says, quote, we have a vision for Coal Creek. We envision a community amenity consisting of beautiful, lush wetlands with public access trails along the lowlands of Lewis County's Coal Creek. He told that to the county commissioners on last Tuesday. It could spark ecotourism and help the salmon. However, I'm not 100% on what ecotourism is, and I'm hoping you can tell me.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it's when you head down to Chehalis Outfitters and you
Get
get
your
all the
fishing
gear.
gear
You need to go out and enjoy the great outdoors.
You need like hip waders,
I think this
hiking
project
boots.
is near
everything.
Chehalis Outfitters as well. The photo we have that goes with it is a Brian Mitke file photo, but he's standing on the levee south of the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds. So,
Okay.
So it could
between
be
the
behind
fairgrounds
us.
and
So kind of like
Outfitters.
on the other side from where Yardbirds is.
Yeah.
Back there.
Where you occasionally find an abandoned vehicle of some sort.
Yeah.
Just crashes in there.
Yeah. Like the most obvious sign in all of the Twin Cities that we shouldn't have built here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you drive through and
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's,
I'm in
you
a
know,
swamp.
Yeah. It's
There's
not a
land
lie.
for sale on either side.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a reason we have those barricades.
yeah. I don't know. It sounds cool, though. Bob Russell's very passionate about it. He was a Russ Money Stewardship Award winner one year for a different project, but he used to be a bit of not a big fan of the salmon, not a fan of salmon, but not like, upending land regulations and stuff to protect them. And now he's all about the salmon.
So this
They're coming
plan
back.
doesn't sound awful, but it is expensive. Where would this money be coming from?
For the project, the story is on chronline.com. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm assuming he is at the commissioners because he wants some skin in the game from the county that doesn't have a whole lot of money at the moment. And I would just assume that they're pursuing grants and things. And I think a grant for ecotourism in the state of Washington is probably something that exists.
Can this come out of the $80 million or so the Chehalis Flood Basin Authority for studying water where water shouldn't be asks for
You
each year?
shut your mouth, sir.
Sounds fantastic to have some tangible results from those millions and millions and millions they...
I see
Kicked
people
down
walking
every
out
year.
in this area every once in a while by that levee, though, and I've always wanted to hop out.
There's
and walk
like
around a
old
little bit.
railroad tracks or something along there, or like that kind of raised...
It's a levee.
Yeah.
Yeah, not old
But it
railroad
looks like
tracks.
you could have railroad tracks on the top of it.
It's a levee.
It's on
How
the
old
side
is that
of it.
levee?
What, are you just trying to stump me? Like, I don't know.
Well, I figured...
Is this a stump the Schwab situation?
Stump
It's a new segment.
I
It's a
don't
story
know.
in your newspaper.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's all
And
in there.
legs
It's
are
in the
literally
story.
made of flood.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
Flood water does course through my veins.
it does sound like they'll have like some trails and shit over there, which is cool. I'm in for that.
Yeah, I approve.
Next story, Ghost Stories Galore. Podcast host takes attendees on a journey through Lewis County's haunted history.
Before you dive into this, Kelly, do you have any ghost experiences in this very building?
In this building, no.
Oh, well, I do.
But I do at Chehalis Outfitters. Swear to God, I'm not just plugging us.
Do you get, no, I plug away, and
Not
also
here, not here.
What's the ghost situation over there? Because we got one here as well.
Okay, I want to hear yours too. So Gus Saloom, I remember how you say his last name.
Former owner, right?
Yeah, former owner and the Sturzas, Jack Sturza, old, all the old people. I swear they come visit us.
Really?
Yeah. I will be walking through the warehouse and something will fall, and then I'll get a scent of Obsession cologne. And I know Gus is there visiting us.
Is he like highlighting deals?
No, I think he's pissed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's less fun.
I mean, I could be wrong, but like he's just there. One day something fell like right in front of me. Like, what the heck?
Oh, the sports guys.
But
here the
no,
other
there's a
night
lot of
had
ghosts in our store, I would bet.
Rhonda's lamp up front was just turning on randomly as they were walking by. Not a motion activated lamp. And then we've obviously had I've told the story of the microwave door slamming shut during the pandemic when I was the only one here, and I left and didn't come back for several days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very spooky. Owen Sexton, who wrote the story that you're about to go in, is trying to get the paranormal team to come in here and see if
I would
they
love to know
can
the
find
history here. I
anything.
mean, what is... I don't know.
We think it's
the
a
Chronicle's
friendly ghost.
100 and some years old. I mean,
Yeah,
gotta
I
have
heard, like
something.
I used to work late nights in here quite often, and I'd always
Yeah.
hear things. I was never like, "Oh my god, a ghost!" But you hear things.
I mean,
Well, and part of it, she got the roller drum next door. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of banging and rolling that goes
mine
on.
was just
in
the
there.
homeless people when I would come in at like
Oh,
3:30,
yeah.
4 o'clock in
Oh,
the
yeah,
morning,
there used to
sleeping
be
in the
some of that.
doorway.
That's
Yeah.
a very attractive doorway.
Yeah, it was.
For a homeless person.
It was.
It's carpeted. It's
and
covered.
it's covered.
A little heat
How dare you
seeping
talk
out.
about former sports writers like that?
You
Anyway,
weren't here that late, that early.
Yeah.
You were here late.
with Halloween approaching, more than 60 patrons were at McMenamin's Olympic Club Theater on Tuesday to learn about some of these supposed spirits haunting Centralia. During the Olympia Oddities podcast host Trina Heenan's Phantoms of the Past presentation. To which I say, we're just writing a story every time there's a podcast in town now.
Yeah.
Kind of missed the boat there, didn't you?
I mean,
Never once been a story about this podcast or a sports dump.
The Chronicle's on the record is trying to distance itself from this podcast.
In your alleged news publication. Just always kind of, felt slighted by that.
I don't know. The presentation had some cool stuff. I'd never heard about this haunting of Frosties, for instance, which makes sense. But there's apparently lots of hauntings there. Or the guys who allegedly, well, I don't know why I say allegedly, fell through a manhole on Tower Avenue and they just covered it back up, is what the story goes. Like they died in there from gases of some sort.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. Get them?
Pull them out?
Haul them out? Put them in a used casket?
More trouble than it's worth.
Race them down the streets of
You
Dakota?
can break them down. Yeah. Race them.
Let's see. Heenan, during the presentation, said, I even booked to stay here myself in the room where bank robber Roy Gardner was caught in hopes of experiencing something paranormal. Well, nothing happened last night except for some incredibly drunk neighbors keeping me up. Sorry.
Yeah, that was good. That's a fun thing, too, because Gardner was arrested and he posed for photos with the people who arrested him. It wasn't a very ghost-like situation. It just happened there.
Yeah.
You're not a ghost until after you come back.
Right, but why was he going to be like, I had a great time at the Oli Club, so I'm going to come hang out? I guess
He
that
wants
could
to
be
hang
it.
out. I mean, there's a lot of old guys down there that used to play snooker and...
The officer who
know?
arrested Gardner parlayed that notoriety into a career in Hollywood.
Really?
Fun fact. Yeah, I learned that after posting a photo of Gardner.
Did Centralia Police Chief Andy Caldwell read about that?
I don't know. No.
He
You
did
mean
arrest a
the
Hollywood
man who
actor.
arrested O.J. Simpson
He did arrest O.J. Simpson.
for not the case you're thinking about?
Next item, annual meeting brings Lewis County farmers for lesson on budgeting and planning. John Paul Driver from the WSU Extension Office met with about 75 farmers on Wednesday to talk money. He said, quote, when prices aren't good and when droughts are bad, the way you make the most money is with a pencil, not with a plow or a disc or a no-till drill.
How dare he?
The way you make the most money is knowing where you're making money and where you're not, to which I would counter, farming looks mighty easy when your plow is a pencil and you're 1,000 miles from the cornfield. It's a quote from Dwight D. Eisenhower.
I really thought you were going shrewd on that one. That's good, though.
But good
Hey,
stuff.
I'm going to pause you right there. Do both of you. Who is on, which president is on the dime?
No
Isn't it
idea.
Eisenhower?
No idea.
I've spent my whole life believing it was Eisenhower.
It's FDR.
It's FDR. I just
Yeah.
learned that this week, and I feel like an idiot.
What's it? Lincoln's on the penny.
Yeah, no, I know
Washington's on
the other
quarter.
ones. Yeah, I've spent my whole life thinking Eisenhower was on the dime, and then
Who's on the $50?
JFK.
Yeah. And then Eisenhower's on a bunch of silver dollars.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to have to go look at my coins.
I know.
have no
I
idea.
discovered this is one of those Mandela effect things. They found a whole Reddit feed on it. So a lot of people thought Eisenhower was on the dime, but it is
Maybe
FDR.
Eisenhower and FDR just kind of looked alike.
I guess so. Like
The
a balding
glasses,
man.
maybe?
Balding glasses. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
One
Gotta
time,
get up on your monies.
years ago, Centralia lost a non-league football game to Eisenhower out of Yakima.
You threw a bunch of dimes on the field in protest like a
No,
fool.
but they threw the ball all over the yard, and so the headline on the story was "Passing in Prosperity for Eisenhower."
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
I thought
actually really good.
like 2 people got the reference. That was his campaign slogan in like the '60s.
I mean, for
I
a
thought it was
guy
a good bit.
who shat upon knockout punch for Napavine when
I didn't shit upon it.
you did, you shat upon it,
I wound
and then
up
you
running
stole it and put it on the front page, which I'll never forgive you
I
for.
thought it was a good sports bit. You know what? Never mind.
You
have
see, the
anything
gal's
else?
name was Cout, so we had knock-cout punch, game-winning. So I pitched it to him, and he was like, "Oh, that's terrible. That's the worst thing ever." And so I changed my front page headline to something more generic and went home. And then he put his sports headline
Stole it.
in, and it was knockout punch. So
Well, I mean,
I'm not the sports editor. I wouldn't have done something like
It
that.
was weak.
you
you have
gotta
anything
take them
else?
while you can.
Do you want to hit any news stories I've missed now?
Let's just do a
or
roundup on the
later?
way back.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met Jasic of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
Just my take sizzling.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments. First up, Tales from the Takes page. What does the opinion section have for us this week?
Oh, you didn't take any notes on it this week?
No, I didn't. I skipped it.
Just like last week, I have a ton of letters to the editor.
Many.
A lot.
So
also, we have began the process of endorsements. We rolled out our first 2 in the Tuesday edition, which was Jamie Herrera Butler for Public Lands Commissioner
Oh, sure.
and State Rep Peter Abarno for the 20th Legislative District.
I don't know. His opponent's got some interesting ideas about being a cultural Republican
He is
that
a cultural Republican.
he has not elaborated on.
Yeah.
Was that just like I'm a Republican, but just for the vibes? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh, he explained it, but I can't exactly remember. Mitchell's working on a story on that race, so we'll have more on that. But I do know that he couldn't come to the Chronicle debates in Centralia because he needed to be in bed, and the debates started at 4. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just saying, and I
Some people are early risers.
think
respect
there was
that.
some confusion as to whether Centralia was in the 20th district, which is like right in the Hardy part of the 20th district. So in any case, we also have from Julie McDonald, 2 dogs killed in Grayland fire at home of Toledo graduate, which was a super sad story. This young couple had adopted these dogs and they went out to do something, came back, their house was on fire. And the man in this story is super admirable because he injured himself trying to get into the house to save the dogs, like severely injured himself, ended up in
sad.
Harborview.
Did the dogs live?
The dogs did not live.
Oh.
Sad. You can go check it out. There's a GoFundMe attached to it. If it moves you, you should donate money. But I can totally get that sentiment because
That's horrible.
it would. I'm sure a lot of people could get that
Yeah.
of not just wanting to sit there and watch your house burn, knowing your dogs
Your
are
animals
inside.
in there.
And then we'll just do a quick letters to the editor headline rundown.
Oh boy,
Of the
my
newest?
favorite.
Can't
This
wait.
is to me what Facebook comments of the week is to you.
This letter was written by Aaron VanTuyl. Swope is a servant leader for our community. So that was a really nice job you did on that letter,
The
Aaron.
entire thing was sarcastic.
You did a good job on that. We've got Bob Ferguson's healthcare plan will protect and expand access to families across Washington.
I'm actually not familiar with what the healthcare plan is.
The hot race for letters to the editor this year is the Lewis County PUD race. So we have Angie Brown's knowledge and experience would benefit Lewis County PUD, followed by Dave Finn's integrity and work ethic. So what do you guys value more, integrity and work ethic or knowledge and experience?
I want somebody with knowledge and work ethic. What am I to do?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Then you're gonna
mix them up.
you're gonna have to do a half check mark.
What
on
about
each of them.
integrity and experience?
Yeah. Younger generation candidate Angie Brown is worthy of our votes for PUD. I feel like that was just like a veiled shot calling Dave Fenn old, to be honest with you.
He's not a young man.
This from Doris Wood, who is also not
She's not
young.
a
No.
young chicken either.
No.
She's wise.
And that was her letter. Changes are needed to America's presidential election process, and I think everyone reads that headline based on the responses online and thinks that it's like a MAGA letter or maybe get rid of the Electoral College letter. And it was just this guy saying that the system could be better, and I agreed with him.
got points.
I actually think he has good point because he's saying we're not in a battleground state and we just don't matter, and he wants some changes.
Yeah.
This one is whining about lack of Republican governors does nothing. He was really giving a tongue lashing
Sounds
to
like
the editorial board.
Sending that directly to you.
That was a good letter. People have short-term memory loss when it comes to I-5 bridge tolling plans. This was a Cinnabar resident commenting on the issue.
Who has never crossed a
I
bridge
was
in
going to
his
say, has he
life.
been there?
Public safety should come first in government budgets. This is from frequent letter writer, I can't remember the name, Bruce Peterson, who was a little skeptical of the 911 tax that's on the budget. He thinks that should be funded first and public safety, and then after that, you try to cobble together money for everything else.
Yeah, I don't hate that take.
And then there is a difference between legal and illegal immigration. And it was an interesting letter. The letter writer's wife is from Germany and had to go through the process, and he was just drawing some differences between that and illegally crossing the border.
Is he saying that for some reason his wife, perhaps based on how she looks, had an easier time immigrating than
Yeah, he's
Others?
actually saying she had a harder time and that she had to go through a lot of hoops to get her citizenship.
Yeah.
And he was kind of lamenting the fact that now you don't have to do that. You can just claim asylum. And even though you've passed through several countries where you could have claimed asylum. Anyways, I'm not saying I agree with this take. I'm just saying that was the take. And
Did his German wife actually come from Argentina?
No.
Is it your cousin?
No, I don't think so. I also don't think his German wife is 95 years old and culpable in World War II, as you are insinuating.
I would do nothing of the sort. What else? What else do our fine letter writers have to say?
Those are it. I mean, I think we went over. There's support for ballot measure to improve 911 service, and then the rest are from last week. I think I'll probably have another full page of letters tomorrow, though. The takes are hot.
Yeah.
You should write.
There's been a lot.
You should write a letter every week on just what the deals are at Chehalis Outfitters.
Oh, a letter to the editor?
Yeah.
About the deals?
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter when I was like 16 once to
was it
Gordon
about?
McCracken
Oh, the late Gordon McCracken.
about our curfew and how it was bullshit.
Did it run?
It did.
Did he edit it?
I don't know.
Like,
I wrote one too.
did you?
Yeah, I was about 18, 19. It was after the police shot that bear in town.
Yeah?
I wrote a letter about that. I was like, what's your problem?
That's funny.
Like, you couldn't find a better way to get a bear out of a tree than to just murder it?
Did your letter run?
Did you keep
Yeah, I
it?
did.
Does your mom have it in her hope chest?
She does. I think I used it in my application to this very newspaper.
I was going to say,
actually.
I'm sure I have mine too. We'll have to go compare them and we can read them.
Yeah.
Did she keep it with all the clothes you knitted for the Southwest Washington Fair?
Yeah, probably.
That's good.
Yeah.
What wasn't
You got a problem with that?
It's just kind of
Yeah, what's your problem with sewing?
also on the opinion page, we have Inslee, Democrats, use your tax dollars to support anti-initiative propaganda. You'll never guess who wrote that letter or
Is
that
it just-
commentary.
Did Braun not get enough takes off in his column?
That was Braun's column. That would be pretty funny if there was supplementary letters to the editor to go with
Appendix,
guest columns.
letters to the editor page.
Follow up to my own take.
This is really what I wanted to say.
Yeah. He just writes a letter agreeing with his column. Great work. All right, that's enough out of there. Kelly,
Aaron,
you got a roof on your house or a place of business?
I do.
How's it
Roof
looking?
doctor. I just got
She
it
went
done.
straight to the promo.
Straight to the point.
It was great.
I sometimes worry for Chehalis Outfitters' roof. Do they got a good roof over there?
Well, the building is pretty old. Do you ever walk through there and see some buckets? We need some. We could use
People
some
with
help.
glass roofs don't throw rocks.
Yeah, you've
and
spent enough
ours
time in
is
this year's
shattered.
building.
Yeah, remember the water came and crashed down on my desk one time.
Oh, that happened to you too?
Yes.
That also happened to me. That happened in your office that I had that
Yes.
previous. I
Yep.
didn't know that.
It did.
So it was the
Well,
second
yours
time.
was probably roof water. Schwartz's was definitely toilet water.
Yeah, they told me it was toilet water. And for some reason at the time, which I think is super weird in retrospect, they were like, don't worry, this isn't Denny's toilet. This is the other toilet. Like, because of the publisher. Like, it would be better because it wasn't
Because it
Denny's.
wasn't
Boo.
Denny's.
Well, he's got an interesting diet.
You never know what they eat.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. Yeah, I also showed up to work one day and opened the door, and there was a bunch of tile and water all over my desk.
Everything was all over mine too. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
never happened to me.
Same spot.
That's regional editor Jessica Keller's office now, and I use that bathroom upstairs all the time. So
You're just
geez.
pooping and hoping, aren't you?
You're just waiting to come in one
she
morning.
should be open.
Is your roof under the weather? Give our friends at The Roof Doctor a call at 360-736-0246 or 360-583-4295. Visit them online at theroofdoctor.com. We read some reviews last week. Trying to see if we got any new ones on here. God, their pages. Just a lot.
It's deep.
Deep.
The crew was quick. Their crew were quick, thorough, and cleaned up well. Steps done during the roofing went above and beyond requirements, including hand nailing the shingles.
Oh, we've been into that one before.
Yeah, and ice water barrier all around the edges, all new flashing at the edges, and new venting material solidly hatched. A review so good it's worth reading twice from JB and Chehalis. Is that your favorite columnist?
I think we've read that review at least 7
and
times.
probably made that joke.
Well, hand
Yeah.
nailing is important.
Yeah, we've
It
been
is.
saying that for weeks.
I mean, it really is.
Well, we posed the question to you that we posed last week. If you do have robot roofers, which eventually we're going to have robot roofers,
Obviously.
is their hand a nail gun or do they carry a hammer?
They got to carry a hammer,
That's
right?
what I said. Yeah,
It
exactly.
just seems like bad design on the robots.
No,
you
no,
build
it's
a
great.
roofing robot. Why don't you just make their hand at least a hammer?
If it's not detachable, that's just nonsense. You just want him to only be able to. Well, I don't know why I gendered the robot.
It could
but
be a female.
yeah, exactly. Be able to, do other things with that appendage.
You of all people should know that a woman can swing a hammer.
I apologize immediately.
All right. Yeah, visit the Roof Doctor. The People's Champion of the Week. I've got 2 entries on here. One is the fundraiser for the Onalaska boy battling brain cancer, which has raised over $28,000. This is Brody Hamilton.
Go Brody.
That one is on there. The other one is Ross McDowell, who is retiring from Lewis County Emergency Management. Do you have any good Ross McDowell stories?
I don't have super personal Ross McDowell stories. I just know that ever since I've started work here after a couple internships, during the flood that you called in sick for in 2007, Ross McDowell's just been the guy. If there's a major disaster around here, I think he's technically deputy emergency management director, but he's really the head of that show.
Yeah.
And I will say he's always accessible. He's always very easy to understand. He's very proactive to reach out if there's a message that needs to get out. And to this day, I know one gentleman was washed away in the flood going to check on a pump in 2007. But I don't think it's a far stretch to credit him a little bit with the fact that we had the biggest flood in all time in the Chehalis River Valley, and there was no major deaths. There wasn't there was destruction that you would think there was a lot of deaths, but I just think they did a wonderful job, and I think he's done that on every flood. And I think that it sounds like Erica Catt might be the heir apparent to take over there, and he has high praise for her. But I think we'll miss Ross McDowell.
Yeah, he's done a great job. I've talked to him a few times back in the day, covering news.
He's just a kind guy too. I mean, I remember screwing up on some stories in 2007. They weren't huge things, but they would be huge to him. At one point, FEMA set up a center, and I called that the Emergency Operations Center, which is not. That's what the county runs out of the courthouse. And he called, and a lot of people were really upset about that. And he was just very kind and was just oh, we just need to get this fixed, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Also a Deadhead, if I remember correctly. Big fan of the Grateful Dead.
Dead, huh?
Cool.
Yeah.
He's got to be cool then.
Yeah, he's been nothing but helpful to us. So I will go with him only because I know Brody Hamilton has been our hero of the week before.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that was a cool event too. I think they raised $28,000.
$28,000, yeah. Do you have a Sirens Banger of the Week?
I don't have a Sirens Banger of the Week, but I will use it as a call to the most... I hate needles. I really hate needles. They horrify me. More so than a knife or a sword or anything like that. I just don't like needles.
Sword.
So invasive, so pointy. And we did have a guy that was arrested this week accused of stabbing a victim with a needle twice who was trying to wake him up because, reading between the lines, he was maybe not overdosing, but definitely feeling whatever he had injected. And he woke up and stabbed the person twice with a needle as the person was trying to wake him up.
Trying to help him.
So that story's at cronline.com. Brent Wilson Robertson, 43. He's also accused of breaking the victim's finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind
Don't
of a
help me.
gnarly thing. Yeah.
Don't wake me up.
Yeah, don't wake me up. But yeah, as far as I didn't see any funny crime this week, Aaron. I know you take great pleasure in other people's suffering.
Mostly yours, but yeah.
As the inventor of Sirens Banger of the Week, you carry that as a burden.
I'll have to do my research on that one.
I do want to ask, though, on the topic, do you guys still not tolerate any shoplifters up in Chehalis Outfitters? Because you guys are kind of known for
hell no.
having photos
Yeah.
and...
I haven't had to do it lately, so that's good.
That's a good thing. Or they're getting better at their jobs.
No.
Which is stealing
I
from
just
you.
catch them
Yeah.
sooner.
Anything recent?
Yeah, we had a guy that tried to swap out boots, in a different box,
Classic
right?
ruse.
Yeah, for the more expensive ones. And then he tried to walk out without paying for them. And he's like, oh, I just thought I paid for them at the gun counter. So I could have done that, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. But our fashionista gal was our biggest one lately.
What's that?
Where she walked out in her boots, too. Oh. And it was all over. She got a lot of hate.
People have a lot of fun with that when you guys call the people out, though.
Yeah.
There's nothing folks like online than calling out.
Calling out criminals, and they love dogs.
Oh, yeah, they do love dogs.
They love dogs.
Ah, so that's why you have the Rose Rescue there every once in a while. Are they coming back anytime soon?
I haven't got a date scheduled for them yet, no.
I saw someone ditch a
11.
dog out there recently, and they had videos of it. They were very upset.
Yeah.
People just
That's
pull up,
sad.
and they're like, oh, you're a rescue, even though you have 100 more dogs than you should.
Right.
Take this one.
They brought 30 dogs on the 5th, I think it was, and we adopted out 11 or 12 or something, so that was a pretty good day.
Other Sirens Banger of the Week is not a Sirens Banger of the Week at all. But second arrest for Michelle Goodman over at Green Hill
Green
School.
Hill? Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah. First, she was arrested for turning a blind eye to a fight. Basically, someone was like, hey, I'm going to go beat the crap out of this inmate. Is that cool? And she was like, sure, let's go for it. And then later we found out this week, she was arrested because she is apparently having sex with one of the inmates over there.
I will never understand that.
Who has now filed a lawsuit, which is how Lewis County found out about it. And yeah, now she's in there double time. The 5th Green Hill employee arrested this year, 3 of them for sexual misconduct, the other 2 for drugs. And it just continues to be a big mess over there. And Ross Hunter, the DCYF head, has taken his name out of contention to be appointed by the next governor.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was really high on the list to
You got 5
continue there. I'm not saying it's his fault, but it's happening under your enormous agency.
For cabinet agencies like that, I believe the heads, when there's a new the boss coming in, basically, like the new governor comes in and the head of those agencies basically submit like a letter, they have to basically reapply for their jobs. And so it's a pretty clean breaking point for something like that. And, I don't think it's a huge surprise.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that came out of the Chehalis Police Department with that arrest is they gave us some numbers, which are, after reviewing reported crimes involving Green Hill School in recent years, in 2022, 15 incidents were reported. 15, not bad for a full year. Mm-hmm. In 2023, 74 incidents were reported. And so far this year, how many do you think? 184 incidents have been reported, which is just insane. It's out of control over there.
What is happening over there?
They've got to
fix
fix
something. Need a new, I don't know, what's like the prison guard person name? Like on Shawshank. What's that guy's name? They need a new one or something.
I'm not suggesting they go all Shawshank on them. Let's not do that.
I'm just saying, they need a new something.
A warden, I believe.
Thank you, yes.
I mean, a lot of times in politics, you just criticize anything the other side does ever, and that's just the way it goes. But with juvenile detention, I feel like there's a pretty good argument that they really messed this up.
Something's going on.
Between closing Maple Lane, which was for younger offenders, and then passing a bill where you can stay in quote-unquote juvenile detention until you are 25, or whatever it is, 24, 25. Bad idea. Let's go back like we did on a lot of the police reform stuff. It was nice to try it, but maybe we just go back to sending adults to prison.
Okay.
Hot take. Science Banger of the Week, brought to you by Chehalis Outfitters.
Speaking of Chehalis Outfitters, Kelly, what kind of deals you guys got? What's going on over at the store?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So we just started last week our biggest sale of the year for our workwear. So we had our first and only insert of the year actually printed into the Chronicle.
Ooh, nice.
Inserted, 12 pages full of deals.
Glossy?
No, they don't make those
Semi-gloss?
ones. No, it's just a bright white.
You can imagine
What
a
the
gloss,
fuck, Schwartz?
though. You can get it
I
laminated at home if you wish.
I'll save you a copy. We'll autograph it.
Which edition was that in? That was in recently?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
How do you not know?
On the inserts, I don't always know the inserts. I know that same Thursday there was 2 full-page ads in there, though.
And an additional 2 pages. Yes.
Yeah. I just missed the insert.
Yeah. So, 12 pages of deals. It's our best deals of workwear, clothing, shoes, everything, So Carhartt bucks, we have our
Carhartt bucks.
advertised Carhartt, sale prices or anything, but we've got great savings on Carhartt. Spend $100, get $20 of Carhartt bucks back to spend, so that's a pretty good deal. And I have an answer for you about our largest Carhartt women's
Second
section.
largest Carhartt selection
largest.
in the world.
In the world. The first is in New York. It's like 6 levels of Carhartt.
Oh,
in some
that's
mall.
going to be tough to jump.
Yeah, I don't know how we'll do that.
You're going to have to
we're going to have to
5 extra roofs,
something.
it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean,
you call every
roof
floor a
doctor
roof,
can
right?
help us that. Oh.
Yeah.
Any deals on guns? Aaron was asking before this. He's looking to procure a gun.
I have a co-host to shoot.
We, we always
funny.
have deals on guns.
I was talking about Cody for all
I
his
just
threats.
like this photo for the double front utility logger. That looks like I was asked to try on those pants. And that guy, he hasn't done any work.
Do you want to
Come
be
on.
our, so we're going to do a fashion show next year. Do you want to be one of our models? You both can be
yes,
our models.
we are both in.
Absolutely, yeah.
We are both in.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, We were going to try to do it this year, but we just can't pull it together.
I don't know if you know this about us, Kelly, but we're a bit of men about town these days.
I know. You guys are MCs everywhere.
Summerfest. Oregon Trail
Judges
Days.
for the tractor parade.
Light up tractor parade
you're
judges
kind of like
this
the
year.
local celebrities.
I was a judge
we're
at the
getting up there.
Bucota Casket Festival this year. You had to rank everything on 1 to 5. I gave away exactly 1-5 the entire day. I ain't
Who'd you
no
give it
pushover. I don't know. It was a really cool casket where they kind of dressed up in Ghostbusters stuff. The nostalgia hit me. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. I think that's it for our events that we do. We were asked to come to the South Thurston Chamber, but I was unavailable.
Well, you still have the lighted tractor parade.
So you're going to do a fashion show, huh?
We're going to do a fashion show. Yeah.
You're going to need plenty of coverage for that.
I know.
Yeah.
The Chronicle is
if
going
they
to be the
talk to
top,
me, I will
top
be there.
one. Yeah.
Are they now? If we're like, if we're walking the runway in this fashion show, I assume somebody will be dressing us and providing us with like what they think will best fit.
I'll hook you up.
What I'm asking for is I would like to be wearing Carhartt pants,
Okay.
a wife beater. Do you guys sell chainsaws? Because I want a chainsaw over
We
my
do
right
still
shoulder.
sell chainsaws. Steal 'em.
and,
Yeah.
then, and then a bandana of some sort worn in a fashion that I decide.
I would
Okay,
like
all right,
long
all right.
johns, 2 shotguns.
But
You can't return the long johns, though. I'm sorry. You get to
fine.
keep those.
but I also want cork boots
We've got cork boots. We have them now.
and
Hoffman
one of those
and
fancy
whites.
colored sidearms you were talking about.
All right. We'll hook you up. You might
And
get
we're
the
in.
best dressed.
Yeah, no, we're in. I'm down. Are you going
I
to do
want-
it at Chehalis Outfitters?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
I'm gonna roll out hip waders.
Don't nobody steal my idea.
That's a great idea.
Hip waders. Nothing else.
Nothing else?
Gross. I got foot legs that way,
we
you know?
need to keep people around.
That sounds like fun.
No, but we do have the big sale going on right now. Free gifts with purchase of your Georgia boots, Timberland boots, Danner boots. Awesome prices on those. 2 pages of hunting and everything kind of stuff right now. And then we're gearing up for, the holidays. So we have a lot of staff right now that we're prepping for, and so that we have lots of help. And we have a holiday open house coming up.
Ooh.
So come and
Oh,
get your...
Santa's going to be there, right?
And yes, but before Santa, I'm having a haunted hut.
Ooh.
So we're going to
Okay.
take pictures on Halloween out in our Santa hut, which has become, our Valentine's hut and St. Patrick's Day hut, and Easter. We did Easter photos, and now we're doing Halloween. So come,
really do
we're going to
think
do
you
a
guys-
costume contest and
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff. So
You guys really fill that gap that Yardbirds used to, where
Right,
there's
right.
an event. Like
Yes,
it's
that's
a shopping experience.
it is an
Like
experience.
you're not
you
going
know.
to just get something. You're going to have a good time.
Right, yeah. I mean, how many places? You're not going to go to Home Depot and go and get to come chat in our aisles about...
Is that a motivation?
Whatever.
Because I've seen Yardbirds, the old pictures where they were giving away puppies, and you guys are literally doing that now.
We are giving... You are
No.
so right.
So I'm just wondering, is
We
that
just
like
need a monkey now.
you need a Santa
Yeah.
Claus to land on your business in a helicopter for
Yes,
one,
and throw ping pong balls off.
and then you need some sort of unfortunate fire that burns a
Well,
large
we're not
effigy.
going to talk about. We're not going to throw that
front.
out there in the universe. But yeah, no, we definitely do want to be remembered and sought out for that kind of fun stuff. To, like I said, Eric's kids and Tyrus, back in the day. Sorry, I don't know if you say your kids' names on the air, but you can edit it out.
Yeah, we did. Cody threatened to kill one
He
of them.
did.
What?
He threatened to kill.
That's why I need to get that gun.
Yeah. Speaking of guns,
I got you, Aaron. I got you.
jerky guns. What are these things?
Jerky
give us a
guns.
little on
So,
jerky gun.
yeah,
Does
so-
it come preloaded?
That was another event. No, we did a learn how to grind your own sausage or meat and everything, and it's just a jerky gun. It's like like the cookie presses. Mm-hmm. It's like a cookie press, but for sausage or some jerky. It just like squirts
You
out
just like pack the meat in there, and
you
then you
just
just
shove it
squeeze
in.
it out into
Yeah,
a delightful
into a
tube-saked
jerky
okay.
stick. Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought it was.
All right.
So yeah,
Are you
That's
ready
what that
for?
is.
Are you ready for Facebook comments? I pulled a
I
few while
thought
we
you
were
didn't
talking.
have them. Okay, fine.
On a story about the WF West Centralia football game, this
Oh.
commenter says, "Why don't they just do a snob cup between Tumwater and Chehalis and forget about the Swamp Cup already? Seems like it would be more fitting in a better match game." Well, lady, I've got news for you. Guess what's happening Friday?
We're gonna be there
the
too.
snob cup.
And also, this is the same lady that I corrected in a Facebook comment, and she never responded.
What's the name on this one? I had to jump in on a comment this week because there was a very delightful Brian Mitke commentary about helping out kids as they go off to college and how nice that is, and you should write thank you notes. And she wrote, "Isn't this the person that writes all those vile editorials?" And I was like, I think you're mistaken, ma'am.
Not
and then her
Vicky.
comment was like, "I don't think I am."
Well, that wouldn't have been her. She doesn't
step out.
respond to being corrected on Facebook.
My person was the person that puts an angry emoji on everything and makes me always think about, like, why are you mad at casket racists?
It's Martha Fleming.
Okay. You had to put her on blast like that.
And the,
But you asked.
the T in Martha stands for terrible takes.
She probably complains about when you run the crosswords 2 days in a row, the same one.
You know, I
I'm
get
sure
that,
she does.
though. I mean, it makes sense.
You know what? Given her...
I'm a tiger, so I mean, but
Like
given
I said,
her lack of understanding of grammar, I think she would be just as surprised the second day.
like I said on Sports Dump, just hours ago, Centralia wins when they break this thing.
it's going to be amazing.
3 to
feels
5
like you're
pages
just,
of the front half of the A section.
you know we're gonna
photos,
crash that whole
coverage.
field.
Oh, it's going to be good.
And that
This
field
feels
is
like
beautiful
patronizing
now.
at that point.
I just hope I'm alive to see it.
Did they throw new turf over
It's
there?
not patronizing. It's the
beautiful. Yes,
hometown.
they did.
Hometown team.
That's true. All right. So some other comments on the history photo of the old guy with the fake Bigfoot feet.
Oh no.
This commenter writes, one purported hoaxer does not make the entire Sasquatch phenomenon a hoax. To which I say, shut up.
Every time, this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've shared that photo because we pick up thousands of followers like every year. So I reshare photos
to
like if they're
re-see it,
popular.
yeah.
You know, this new person hasn't seen it. Every time they get really mad at that one. Not fans. Sunday is history photo day because I'm out of content. Like I have nothing left. So we go with history photos. I go to the old bullpen
the old Towns
and
book?
Rant Mullins is in there. I'm sorry.
And then on a history photo of the Green Hills School, this commenter said, back when they actually tried to help them by teaching instead of giving them dope. And I wanted to be like, oh, calm down. And then I thought about the recent news. I was like, hey, you know what?
He's kind of right. The commenter is kind of correct in that point.
Yeah. So those are the only comments I have pulled out for here.
I feel like Green Hill just needs to like pat down their employees as part of the application process, and if they have drugs or any other contraband on
during
them, you
the
just-
interview?
Yeah. I feel like there
Just
needs
do
to be
the
a
bare
pat down.
minimum.
Like, that's where we're at this point. Like it's just I don't understand how
Do
it
you
could be
think
so
people
bad.
are just coming in for interviews in like a Rastafarian hat with a lit joint?
All right, this is
Much
I
like
don't
you applied for this job.
I don't mean this to sound like disrespectful to people who work at this place, but it reminds me of like UNFI because it's such a big place. They're always hiring, and you can probably get a job there if you don't have any like huge red flags. Like Green Hill should not be operating that way. They are a juvenile detention facility. It feels like that's how they're operating. Like if you show up, got a pulse. You haven't murdered anyone, and they're like, all right, we're gonna
didn't
give
run
you
through
full
Green Hill.
access to all of our juveniles who are struggling with a range of issues.
Yeah.
We should do a whole podcast on Green Hill being fucked up. Sorry
Who
for
would-
my,
who would- who
my,
would we get
my
to guest on
language.
that?
I apologize.
Do you want to email Ross Hunter?
I don't think he would appear.
Well, in a couple weeks, he's,
Like I said,
gonna
I,
be done.
I did enjoy that quote where he was like, well, could I have done things better? Sure. Yes, Ross, you could have.
I interacted him, worked with him briefly at a previous job, and found him to be very polite.
No, that's good. I respect that.
Yeah.
You want a Cronline rundown?
Yeah.
Finish this off?
What's in the next edition?
We had lots of stuff on here. We haven't talked about this on the podcast at all. I don't think we have to, but they did identify the 2 aviators who were killed in that crash over by Mount
I saw
Rainier.
that was sad.
2 trailblazers. They had both fought or served against the Houthis most recently, and they described that as like the most intense combat since World War II for that division. Very, very, very sad. And one of them flew over the Super Bowl. They did the all-female flyover this year. I learned that from the Seattle Times reporting. Let's see what else we got here. We've got Centralia Downtown Association honored for, quote, purposeful promotion and an exceptional volunteer of the year. That was Edna Fund. There's
They're
going to be
doing
some...
a great job.
They are. We had them on the podcast not that
I know.
long ago.
It was a
and
great Hallie and
the
the other
CDA,
one.
I'm not saying that
Mackenzie,
the
yeah.
people that weren't there before weren't trying hard,
Right.
but these people are succeeding
but
hard.
I mean, look at it. It's Hallie. She started the Blaze.
Yeah, Hallie's doing
I
great.
mean-
Mackenzie McGee's doing great.
Yeah,
Like
they're
it's
doing
just
really good
that
job.
whole group, they're just
We
doing
get
a wonderful
involved
job.
with the CDA as well.
Yeah,
We do. We sponsor Girls Night Out.
I like that. That's
So
wonderful.
yeah, we got to branch out a little bit over here.
When are you guys gonna spearhead Guys Night Out? What's the plan there?
We've talked about that as well.
Really?
So we have a lot of stuff coming up next year. So
We will,
we have a
interview
sportsman
every
show
attendee.
in January. So that's kind of guys' night,
No, you let us know. Give us a notice on that. 'Cause that's
will.
awesome. So 'cause the Chamber's done like that type of thing in the past, but this is
yeah.
going to be the Outfitters.
Yeah.
Is it going to be at Chehalis Outfitters?
Yeah.
Free gun for every attendee?
I don't
You
know
give
about
'em
a
a
free gun.
gun?
We have given away guns. You got to come enter to win.
Oh, I know. That put me in Facebook jail because you guys were doing a gun
I know.
giveaway, and I shared it.
I keep getting in Facebook jail too.
I got a very sternly worded letter from Facebook.
I
that
never
was like,
know
you
if it's
can't
real
give
or
me
not,
guns.
though.
Yeah, it's.
You got to click
bizarre.
the link to find out.
Currently,
Yep, that's
Facebook
it.
hates Napavine athletics, which is really weird. Like, for a while, every Tumwater store I'd put up, it would be like, this violates community standards. It's spam. I'm like, oh, somebody's reporting it. And now it's Napavine. Like,
Now it's
anytime
Napavine.
Napavine comes up. And then anyways, that's a whole other thing.
Yep.
There's a prescribed burn. Might start tomorrow in East Louis County. So if you see some smoke, it's probably not a big deal. That's out towards Morton. They're just going to be burning stuff for your benefit. This is a kind of wild story out of the NVN. It was also, I think, it was one of the Seattle stations. I think Cairo. I'm sorry if I'm not defining credit correctly. Thurston County student denied permission to use restroom after having period in class.
Saw that.
That was a shocking story because she was told
sad.
she had already used her 2 bathroom breaks for the quarter. Are you
No.
kidding me?
You only get
Ooh, a quarter.
Like, but
Yeah.
just awful.
Take some
Bleeding
mercy.
through her pants and like, can I go to the restroom? And they're like, no. I'm sorry, you cannot.
That's wrong.
I thought that was
that
horrible.
was tough.
We've got a write up on friend of the podcast, Wayne Fournier's race, Thurston County Commissioner for District 4. He and his opponents, Rob Lehman. That's another NVN piece. Woman killed in ATV rollover at Remlock Lake. Sad story. Alcohol might have been involved. Another horrible story. Judge sets $2 million bail for Thurston County man accused of stabbing parents with sword. Olympian story, but just awful. The cops walk in and he has like stabbed his parents with a knife. He's beating them with a katana. What is that?
Katana?
Yeah, katana. Sorry.
Like a wooden stick or something, isn't it?
Just
What is it?
murdering them.
That's sad.
Just awful. We had the needle assault, which was the most. Ugh.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna stab me, I'll take the sword over the needles.
All right.
Just letting you know specifically, Aaron.
Set a reminder.
You set a reminder for that. Lots of other stuff at cronline.com, but that's just the stuff we uploaded today.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that'll do it.
Okay. You don't want me to click cronline.com and just make a comment on the first page?
No, we did a photo spread, courtesy photos of witches out on the Silver Lake.
Those
Silver
are
Lake
that was
Resort.
cool.
super cool photos, by the way.
Also witchcraft, according to the commenters, who were
Of
very
course
upset with
it
it. I think
is.
they were just a bunch of gals that dressed up
Just
as witches
dressed up.
for the holidays and went out there. I don't think it was a Satanist thing. But you never know.
And if it is, who gives a shit? This is a free country.
I
You're
am
free to
on the
dress like a
record
witch and
as
go on a goddamn
opposing
stand-up
Satan.
paddleboard.
I'm up. I oppose Satan, Aaron.
Oh, bullshit.
Hot
If somebody
take.
showed up right now, you'd pat him on the back and be like, here's your seat on the editorial board. What's your first column going to be about?
How dare you? How dare you?
In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters,
Hello.
and the
Come
Roof
see us.
Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you like, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.